Welcome everyone to Price Action Live at TradersPost for September 24th, 2025. I'm one of your traders, Tom Hartman, alongside Mike Negative RR Christensen, co-founder and CSO of TradersPost. 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as TradersPost, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, TradersPost has got you covered. Today, we're trading with prop firms. Like, not a lot of volatility news-wise, event-wise on the horizon, but we did see a pickup in VIX yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Did that maintain? Because we would love to see more volatility inside of markets, but 16.34 on the VIX. So
Yep.
Has come down a bit.
Not a huge spike, but certainly enough to start getting interesting again. Yesterday's 11 a.m. Or 1 p.m. Eastern candle. Sorry, I'm on the exchange. The noon candle yesterday was actually pretty exciting. That was the first kind of big sell-off or trend that I've seen in a little while now, which was nice to actually witness, because it feels like we've just had chop for weeks on end now. So that was a plus. But overall, it seems like volatility is still relatively low. We've got some potential for a pullback here today. What I'm kind of excited about is if it is a short day, we've got some decent levels to confirm as rejection. The weekly VWAP, it looks like we retraced right to that level and rejected off of it already in the early morning session here. So we'll see if that trend carries once we get to the open here. We're going to see a little bit of a gap up from yesterday's close, and then we'll see where the trend goes from there.
What I like about the 2-hour chart for MNQ is that for the NASDAQ is that on the 2-hour, if I get a high signal here, these H signals you see on my chart are basically coinciding with the RSI on the 2-hour crossing into bearish territory. And generally speaking, that does call the trend for the next few days for NASDAQ, except that it usually calls the trend up until we hit an unmitigated daily level. So, for example, over here, you'll notice this was what? September 16th. We had the overbought signal, and then we had a wick down all the way to this unmitigated daily level. And the same thing happened yesterday, where we had the signal and we went down to, where was it? 24.9. That's what I was calling for during Price Action Live yesterday. But then we moved past that down to another daily level, which was here at 24,775. I love VWAP. I can't even tell you. Thank you so much, Mike, for showing me this, showing me the light. So right now we have the price. Actually, we bounced up last night and we hit the unmitigated daily level here at 24,911. And so now we're like confirming underneath the weekly VWAP, underneath those levels. And so we're right between the EVWAP today's session and the weekly VWAP. So I'm looking for a breakdown towards, if not 24.6, maybe even as far as 24.450. I'd love to see a move down towards these levels over the next day or two, which, given the fact that we're headed into option expiry for the end of the month for the quarterly expirations for September 30th, makes me believe that that could totally happen.
So I want to show my process for looking at regression trends, even on the 2-hour chart here. We've been in this trend since September 2nd now, which has been a very strong bullish trend and has respected the boundaries of this regression trend the whole time. We almost hit the top of it. This is 3 standard deviations, so it's usually unlikely to ever hit the boundaries very much. If it does, it'll happen once or twice across a whole series. But this is the attempt at a reversal of this trend. And you can kind of see here how these two regression trends are competing against one another. Eventually, we'll get to what I call the diamond of the two trends. And we're looking to see if we can bounce off of the other side of this regression trend. right around here, or even right around here, where this will obviously serve as support. And if it rejects, bounces and moves back up, then we've seen a continuation of the overall trend since September 2nd. Otherwise, it could be a breakdown past S1 at 24,800 is what I have.
Mhm.
And then from there, my next support line is down at 24,300, which I think you just mentioned.
That's right.
So we've got some room to the downside if we break this trend. I'm expecting 24,008 could be defended by the bulls.
Are you looking for close values or high lows?
Both. I mean, I tend to look at the current candle, but usually confirmation occurs when the candle closes.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. What would invalidate it for me is a move above, a close above 24,920. If we get a close above there and then a confirmation of that level, well, then I pretty much be back either to sideways or up moves. What would be the well, I hate asking this, what the ideal scenario, like what do you want the market to do? You want it to just trend in a direction that you catch. So
Well, fortunately, I'm not really trend following anymore. At this point, I just want 5 to 10 points of take, and I just don't want my stop loss triggered. So, because I've changed my trading style dramatically since we started this show, at this point, I really just want a solid open, some decent ATR above 10 on the 1 minute chart for NQ, and some clear direction that I can capture 10 points from. And I'll do that all day long. That process has been working out really well. Yesterday alone, I had about an 82% win rate and picked up another $800 in profit. And I'm about 30% of the way to goal on all my accounts. So I would like to continue this process of just capturing one small profit after the next.
awesome. Well, folks, we're just going to remind you that we are using the TradersPost software in order to execute our trades. If we take a look at our back end here, it's just a simple matter of having our strategies enabled. So we just make sure that our strategies are turned on as they are right here. And then that we're subscribed to them, connected to our broker. Here I'm using Top Step, and I have one account over here, but I could connect 5, 10, 15, 20 accounts if I want to, depending on the size of my subscription, my plan with TradersPost. The idea here is that we have lines on the chart, drawings on our chart, for that have alerts tied to them, so that if the price crosses them, a message in the correct format gets sent off to our webhook URL here in TradingView, and that will trigger a trade signal to be executed at the connected broker. Here we're using prop firms, but you can do that with a crypto account. You can do that with stocks, your live personal futures accounts, whatever, and you could have multiple of them together. So you could have multiple accounts that are daisy chained with different parameters set for each one. So it's really a type of software that really that upgrades the way that you can manage your trading and your signals. We have about 4 minutes here before the market opens. What did the Asian session do last night? Oh yeah, it just moved up to the daily, to the VWAP.
Correct.
Totally
yeah, we bounced
expected.
from S1 yesterday, which was the end of that sell-off in the early afternoon, and then it basically just mean reverted back. So we had a decent retrace from this top candle, which, you know, if we measure the fib lines from that, the 0618 is at 24,932, and we didn't actually get quite to that level. We actually rejected off of the weekly VWAP, which is closer to the 0.5 fib, and that's at 24,903. So interestingly, it feels like if the bulls really want to step in, we might close slightly above weekly VWAP from the open, and then maybe find the continuation of this trend from here.
Hi, Ventura. Thank you for being here. And on this momentous day, which is the first day where after I actually passed my first eval. Now,
We got you there, Tom.
yeah, I haven't gotten up to the levels of what is. We've seen some numbers of people paying $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 for prop firm accounts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in those levels, but I'm starting. These are my baby steps, and I'm totally willing to do that, much to my wife's chagrin.
I don't want that to be a rite of passage. I don't think we should have to spend 250 grand on eval accounts in order to actually make some decent cash doing this. I would think that if we go back to Tyler G's story in the interview we did with him, and I don't recommend putting them on credit cards, but he loaded up about 20 grand worth of accounts on credit cards and managed to make that pay off. That was a hell of a bet and a hell of a story. Tyler's a great guy. He's in my interview with him was just a blast. We're looking to have him back on pretty soon as well.
Awesome. And thanks, Adventura. Yeah, I'm happy to hear it too. All right. So you could see a pull up or a pull back to, I guess, 24,915. How high do you think it can go? What's your
I do think that the market could potentially retest weekly VWAP here from the open if it's a bullish enough open, but I would expect that the 0618 fib retrace might be respected, especially by sellers. So if we measure that out again, that would be at 932. So I would expect a rejection around 930 before we head back down again. And if we do, then that would be an interesting move because that would place, let's do the fib extension from that. So 932, let me make sure I got my tail correct there. That would place us at 24,600 as the 1.2 extension of this retrace. So that could be pretty interesting because that's pretty close to what we're saying is S1.
That's exactly my level. 602 is, 606. What is this exactly? 604.
Got it. So that's the open. Let's take a look at how we get these first few candles printed, and we'll start preparing for a trade. I've got all my alerts paused as I normally do from the open. That way I don't accidentally trigger a line and then send a signal to TradersPost to trade all my accounts when I didn't actually mean to. I also have the ability, of course, to disable all of my strategies in one click. This is a recent feature we enabled, but I'm going to turn on the scalp strategy, which is connected to 6 accounts at the moment. And they're mostly just Apex accounts that I just purchased. I think today, interestingly, let's see. With my Apex account, I'm about $750 away from passing that account. So let's see if we can actually pass this account today.
Well, it did attempt to move up. Now it's back below open.
Oh, looking at the 15, that looks like another clear rejection off of weekly VWAP. So it's a pretty small open. First candle printed at about an ATR of 23. I was hoping for a little bit higher than that.
Yeah. I just added to my short. Let's see if this works out.
Not sure I'm ready to put on a short just yet. I'm going to let a few candles print here.
We are traders. Hear us roar. When people tell me they're going to go fishing, and I go, why would you fish when you could trade instead? I don't get it. It's the exact same thing, except this one you can actually make money.
When I hear people say they want to take cooking classes, why would you do that? Why would you just trade instead? When I hear people say they want to spend time with their kids,
there's no return on that.
I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, we're below VWAP. That's good for me.
Let's go ahead and just fill this gap then. So this will be a quick 10-point trade, and done and done. How's that for right
Look at that. Look at that, guys. You see the bottom left side of your screen, that's just the Mike's P&L for these accounts that he's trading. And that's negative RR working right there, right in front of your face.
So a couple of changes took place here that made that possible just now. One is, well, nice to look at here, the dashboard on TradersPost. I'm able to see all my accounts in one place. I can see where the current balance is for each one. If I click on it, I'm able to see the P&L for the day. Excuse me. And I can see here now I'm just like inches away from passing this Apex account, but I need another 500 here. But what I'm going to do now is just try to focus on where the next candle goes. I want to see a little bit of a retrace here, and I'll put on another candle. But the other change that took place was I've decided to increase my size on all the accounts. I went from 1 NQ typically to now I'm trading 2 NQ. And because volatility is high enough at the open, we have an ATR of 13 right now. I'm doing 10 points of take, which is pretty much the highest I'll go before I cut myself off. And this seems to be working pretty well. So let's wait for another trade opportunity. Like I said, I want a little bit of a retrace and then a rejection off of VWAP, and I want to participate in that short sell. That'll be my second trade of the day.
Yeah, great stuff, Mike. Ventura says.
Appreciate it, man.
This is the sort of thing, like someone was asking yesterday on office hours, do you have any good strategies? So
yeah,
this is an interesting thing to pay attention to, because Mike didn't just decide to increase the risk he's taken and the swings that he's taken. It's based on, he took many of these trades in order to see, hey, do I have a strategy, a manual strategy here that makes sense for me to increase my risk? And you found that, yeah, actually it didn't make sense to attempt that today.
That's right. Yeah, I started doing this last Wednesday. And if I pull up my trading journal, let me just refresh this real quick. I'll even include the trade I just took. Oh, I guess it's not going to make it to the journal yet. Well, in any event, if I pull up my Tradeify journal here, you can see once I started this process last Wednesday, I've immediately noticed positive returns. 70% win rate, profit factor of 1.4. I've only had one losing day so far. That was last Friday. I took my one loss of the day, and I was still kind of ironing out the kinks from this as well. I'm trying to stay very consistent with my rules, and that consistency is what's really helping here. I think the main thing of this, though, is that I've watched charts for the last, 11 years now, and there's so many patterns that I recognize, and those are my entries. I'm looking for the way price dances around VWAP. I'm looking for consolidations, breakouts, continuations, mean reversion, and all of those are opportunities to take 10 points off the table. Okay, is that the rejection?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I was looking exactly at that. I almost want to add to my position here at 24,856.
Take it right here then.
That'd be great. And man, if I could just pull this off, a trade. I mean, I still like catching trends. I'm not in the, what I've been doing is giving myself enough room for my stop, and then if that gets hit, fine, let it get hit, and I don't trade afterwards. But what we've been finding, and both of us actually do this, we've been calling where the price could go for the rest of that session. I mean, so often.
For sure, yeah.
And then when I find that the levels that I'm seeing are like yours, and we have completely different techniques for looking where the price could go, and then we come to the same numbers, and then I see it happen time and time and time again. By 3 o'clock in the session, that's where the price goes. I go, okay, well, I'd rather just take my bet, be there for the whole trend, and just make sure I get in as early as possible so I don't get whipsawed out. That's my preferred way of trading this, because if I get in and out, I will make a lot of mistakes. I'll let FOMO press that button as opposed to what my signals are saying.
I agree. Well, that was successful trade number 2. So now I'm up 670 across all 6 on average. The third account on the list there doesn't count because they took a trade in the Asian session on just that one account and picked up 180. So it has a little bit more profit, but
Yeah, that account doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
Not at all. Not at all.
That profit doesn't count.
How does it feel to like, okay, you're seeing this? I mean, you're doing this. It's not for nothing. You're doing it live.
Mhm.
That's hard. That's on stage performance.
You know, maybe one advantage that I have is we've done so much content in the last 2.5 years together that I've just gotten used to live streaming. I'm not that nervous about it anymore.
Oh, really?
Besides, look, I know that all 7 people watching right now, I'm incredibly grateful for that they're even willing to stick around and watch. It's not like I have 7 million followers or anything. It's what the risk is 7 people think I'm an idiot.
It's more also that it's there. Like anyone could always go back and see your failures, which is to me when I was doing stand-up comedy, I'd only put my good sets online. Obviously, I don't want to put my bad sets online. It's just too painful to look at. I looked at them privately in order to get better.
Sure.
But to have it online, that anyone could always refer to it. Like you're not hiding behind anything. Like this is how you trade.
That's true. Hey, Kazi. We got another regular here. Kazi's been here for the last couple weeks now. Appreciate you showing up, man.
Absolutely. And hey, Ventura says he loves hanging out with you guys. This is great. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
You'd be surprised at Ventura how many times we refer to you throughout the workday.
Okay, so that bounce, remember we were talking about the 2-hour chart here. It wicked off the bottom of this regression trend. So if that was the support line, then it happened before we even touched S1. So I want to keep an eye on what happens here. The bulls could be trying to defend that zone.
I have a rule that a near hit doesn't count.
Doesn't count. You got to touch it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see what else is going on. ES is pulling back. It looks like gold is trying to close above its VWAP, which I will be taking a micro gold position if my automated strategy triggers an alert. So that's another way in which I'm trading just the Tradeify accounts. Tradeify is one of the prop firms, one of the many prop firms that allows automated strategies. But if you're going to run an automated strategy, it has to be exclusive to Tradeify. So I just run that gold strategy with Tradeify alone.
I forgot to mention the dollar is moving up, man. The dollar is
bad news for equities then.
That's right. And it just gave up the whole thing of the rate cuts. From the low, the Fed meeting was the low, and we're back up.
Too. Yeah.
So I don't know if gold moves up at the same time as the dollar moves up. That's bad news. That means stress on the financial system. But otherwise, I'd be looking for a down on gold. Move down on gold.
Interesting. Well, we're still in this consolidation zone on the dollar between 96.23 and roughly 100. So I'd like to see us break out of that before I feel like we've confirmed that this is the bottom for dollar.
Yeah. But that range goes all the way. You said what's the top end of your range for the dollar? Because I have it here at
$100 for the consolidation.
Okay, 100. Okay.
Yeah. Or not $100, but 100.
Right.
I know it's an index, not a dollar amount. All right, so I'm seeing another rejection off of VWAP here. I think this might be good for another 10 points.
Oh, beautiful. And it's happening at the exact right time.
All right, this is going to be a tough one. I feel like it could still retrace, and I'm going to take a little bit of a drawdown in this trade. So if you watch this one, it's going to pull back a lot before I hit profit. And it has potential of being my one loss for the day. Now, if I hit this loss, then I'm done for the day and I don't trade anymore, because my philosophy behind this is really about daily consistent returns. And that means daily consistent losses as well. Where I've gone really poorly in the past on these prop firm accounts is allowing myself to have $1,500 or $1,600 or even $2,500 losses in one day. And that absolutely kills my ability to really get to the profit target, but also manage the drawdown in those accounts. So what I've decided to do is focus on adding more trading days than adding more loss. All right, let's see if I can get those 10 points. Fortunately, the stop loss is above VWAP at the moment and above that recent wick. This wick high at 851. So if we can stay below VWAP and just capture 10 points, then I'll take my third successful trade of the day.
We're at 1 minute and 40 seconds left instead of the 15-minute candle, which is where we get some of these fake moves. So I like to wait for the first candle on the 15 before I invalidate the trade.
Yeah, should I have waited a little bit longer?
Well, there's no way to know for sure.
Yeah. Oof. I feel like this could be one of those trades that wicks me out in a way that is going to frustrate me. If I get wicked out in the stop and I decide to call it from here, and then it falls and I would have captured my 10 points, it's going to frustrate me to no end.
Right.
Oh.
Wow.
Didn't get wicked. We rejected off of VWAP. Now I just need 10 points here. That was crazy.
50 seconds for the close of the candle.
So all I have to do is sit on my hands.
Yeah, is that a win or lose?
You know, this is another thing that I really like about this, Tom, is I can go get an espresso right now and feel pretty comfortable about it because I know the stop loss and the take profit is with the broker. It's on Tradeify. I don't have to manage lines. I don't have to stare at the chart. It's either going to win or it's not.
Right.
And that's a very comforting feeling, knowing that I don't have to nurse trades.
You see how the last two candles on that 15-minute, it's just so, you can't make any long-term decisions based on that. Anything could happen in the last 2 minutes. It's crazy.
Come on, flash down, 10 points. That's all I need. Annoying. We're right at my, sometimes I get into entries where I'm like, is everybody else in the same entry right now? I'm just dancing right here.
Oh no. Come on, stay red.
Just a little further. We don't need much.
And the world waits with bated breath.
Or at least I do. Well, we picked up a few new followers here. For those that are watching, we're basically trading live prop firm accounts. Many of them are funded, some of them are evals, and we trade and scale across multiple accounts with TradersPost, which is our platform where we can help you automate your trading strategies or help you scale your prop firm accounts with discretionary trading. We're trading from TradingView using line alerts, and those line alerts help us execute specific trades across the accounts that we've connected. Kazi, Aventura, have you guys taken any trades this morning? You guys long or short? Oh my goodness.
Legally have to tell us.
You legally do. By joining and watching, you have to tell us what you're doing on. Man, you know, this regression line here has me a little worried that I got in right at support.
Right.
Let's see if we can just nab those 10 points and get out. Fortunately, I can't do anything. I'll try to put these candles here up on the screen so you can see how close I am. Essentially, it has almost picked me twice for my take profit.
Yeah, we've been there. Okay, so now we're dancing around the 50-minute VWAP. So that's anywhere between here and 847, but it's bearish. So the trend is
bearish.
Yeah.
That's why I think I can capture this one. I'm not going to cut the cord early. Now, this is a situation where I could decide to move my stop to break even to give myself a little more of a fighting chance today.
Right.
But I'm pretty happy with where the stop is right now. It's already above VWAP, and I think that we could finally get. Here we go. There's the sell-off I needed. We're right there. Didn't I just wicked again?
Come on. He just almost got there. Leave that on the
Come on,
screen.
it's right
Leave
there.
that right there.
I hate this. Do it.
Oh my God. Oh, that's the nightmare move.
I apparently chose the exact same setup as everyone else right now, and the
That's
buyers
right.
are showing up, or there's people exiting right at that point. All right, there we go. Finally.
You got it. Congratulations. Round of applause in the chat for Mike. Oh my God. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Compare that to Price Action Live 3 weeks ago, and it doesn't even hold a candle. Whew.
It's definitely been a different trading strategy. I feel pretty good about the 2 contracts per account. So we're up 1,091 across accounts on average. Plenty of draw. I have a full drawdown available on all my accounts, with one of the accounts having 7,000 in drawdown. And with all the new accounts that have been added, I'm about 21% of the way to goal on most accounts. So let's see. I did also just pass that Apex account. We just hit 106,364. So I can now disable that account on TradersPost pretty easily. What I do is, let me just refresh and I'll show you guys. So I hit 106,364 on that account. I can now just go to each of these. Oh, we didn't enable that one. Let me see. I'll make this a little bit easier. So now I can disable, and disable these 3 strategies for this account. And now, even if I send continued alerts to continue to trade these other accounts, this one will just get left alone. So at the end of the day, Apex is going to email me, tell me that I can now activate this account, and I will convert this from an eval to a funded account.
Aventure asks, did Tom pass his prop firm account using his indicators or manual trading? Both. I manual trade using my own custom indicators. So the only way I feel safe, that's what I use. Well, plus RSI. I look at RSI as well.
RSI, yep. Okay. Bitcoin King asks, I have taken a 100K account on funding pass, I believe you're saying. Can you help me to get past? We can help you scale your accounts on TradersPost, which is what our software is designed to do. You effectively connect all of your prop firm accounts here. You can connect with many different prop firms. We actually support 29 different prop firms at the moment. And this allows you to trade on our platform across multiple prop firms at the same time. In my account, I'm trading Tradeify accounts and Apex accounts all at the same time from the same signal. So if you take a look at my scalping strategy here, I've sent 3 trades today. Let me just do today's trades alone. And the first trade, all 3 were successful. So I have a 100% win rate today. And they're just line alerts that tell TradersPost to sell a contract or sell 2. I can set position sizes differently in each account if I want to. So if I have a smaller account, it might trade 1 contract. Bigger account might trade 2 contracts. And then I tell it where the take profit and stop loss needs to be, and it executes that order for each account on the platform. So that's really what we do. We don't have strategies that we sell. We're really just a technology platform that helps you automate your strategies or scale your prop firm accounts on a discretionary basis. Man, Tom, it kept going. So now we're hitting S1 and yesterday's low.
That's right. I added to my short. So I'm currently on that position, up $450. Let's see how much more I can get.
Beautiful.
I'm expecting this price action to move all the way down to 24,605, but there are, it's what was it? What's the Dante Inferno, the first book, where they're in hell? Dang, I forget what the first one is. But there's a lot of circles of hell to go before I can get down there. And we could always get a complete reversal of of this candle, this 2-hour candle, which still has 7 minutes left to go.
All right, so I'm kind of expecting buyers could show up here, but then maybe we get one more rejection of VWAP.
All right, so how much profit will you like, do you have a cap to how much profit you'll take in a day?
Yes. So with Apex, no, you can pass an account in one day. So I can make as much as I'd like. I can make $6,000 today if I'd like to and pass all the rest of the accounts. I've struggled to put on that kind of size and take that kind of risk. I can't really do that without proportionally increasing my risk to the point that I just blow out account after account.
Right.
So I can keep trading. And if I've had a crazy day where I'm just taking scalp after scalp after scalp, I could pass all those accounts in one day. But with Tradeify, they have a consistency rule of 20%. So because I have a $9,000 target, the most I can make in one day is $1,800. That would be 20% of 9,000. And that, as long as no other days are greater than 1,800, then I'll pass that account with that correct consistency score. So what I've done is, if you go into Tradeivate, there are risk settings that you can apply. I have applied the $1,800 daily max profit to those accounts on Tradeify, so that even if I keep sending signals, it's just going to keep me from over trading on those accounts. And I've capped myself at the $1,800.
I see. Well, that's one heck of a bounce here off of a support level, which I should have expected, this 24,815.
Yep. We expected we would bounce here off of S1. We're still in the regression trend for the September 2nd move. We've been in this trend for quite some time now, so I don't want to ignore that bulls could show up here and defend this trend. But if we break down from S1, this is going to be a pretty big sell-off day. And there's plenty of room to the downside. From the open, we're only down 0.08%, which is nothing. That's basically a break-even day. We opened where we're currently closed where we opened. So if there was a move to the downside from here where we broke S1, we could see as much as another 75 basis points. Maybe not the full move down to 24,300. That would be a 2% down day. But it's not like it hasn't been seen. We've seen sell-offs that have been crazier than that on NASDAQ. So I'm expecting that if we move a little further down, we might move to 24,006 and somewhere in that zone before we push back up again.
Oh, that'd be delicious. 24,600, that'd be great.
Or we just chop around VWAP here. I mean, we've been trading these markets for the entirety of the summer, and somewhere around, I feel like August, we started chopping around VWAP all day long. Right. And we've had a hard time finding trends. Yesterday was the first real looking trend that I had seen in a while. And the one prior to that was the one where I took profits too early. That's the one that had me salty for a couple weeks.
Oh, I don't even remember that one. All right, yeah.
That's it. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate that. Okay, well, so another bounce off of S1 and a move to VWAP. I'm very curious if we're going to push and wick off of VWAP again and get another rejection trade.
I think we will. I mean, yeah. I think it's happening now. Oh, you mean all the way up to, what's that number? I never have VWAP on my chart.
It'd be 834 is where current session VWAP is.
834. No, I think we reject here. But then I only really look at 50-minute VWAPs.
Got it. Well, we have 3 minutes left in this 15-minute candle, and I'm really hesitant to go short here because we're in the support zone. And the bulls could decide anything they would like. They're in control of this market right now.
Yeah, probably not a good idea just to give back your
Absolutely not. If anything, this is enough profit for me to be pretty happy today, but I'm on a mission to see if I can actually get to a payout before the end of September. And I only have today, tomorrow, and Friday, and Monday and Tuesday. So that's 5 trading days left to make, let's see, 2 Tradeify accounts. I have about 6,000 in profit left before I can request a payout. So I need to make another $6,000 over the next 5 trading days, which means I need to make another $1,200 per day on average. So I need to add, at least 800 more, which, you know, would hit my max profit for the day of 1,800, and then do $1,200 on every day after that. So today I could count this as my $1,200 day, but I'm going to see if I can get one more good trade here.
Because that one more good trade, the worst you can do is walk away with plus 200.
Yes. And then that would set me back. Now I have to try even harder for the remaining 4 trading days. So it needs to be an A+ setup. If I'm going to take one more trade here, it needs to be guaranteed to profit.
Well, when you really think about it, there is no such thing as a perfect entry. It's really a choice between no entry and entry. So if you just enter now, you're just as good set up as any other time. Plus, you're just
talking about.
You're at a level. You saw that your level over here. You're about to break down. We're about to break down lower. Where it's guaranteed we're going to 24.6. So put on max size. That's what the voice in my head says. That's what the voice in my head.
Your voice? Yeah, I'm not listening to that voice. That's awesome. No, I definitely would want to see a close. I don't know if we're not going to get to VWAP here, then I'd want to see a close below probably 795 here, and some clear indication that was the rejection and the retrace before I try to ride another wave there. ATR is starting to come back, so this is going to make it more difficult for me to succeed. ATR currently is at 14, but the most recent candle is 10, and you can kind of see just looking at this yellow line here how it's starting to pull back a bit. Right. When ATR starts to move down like that, it's harder for me to capture the profit, you know, very quickly in less than a minute or so. So if I have to wait for it, I risk getting wicked like I almost just did a little while ago. So far, my average trade time for the first 3 trades of the day is 2 minutes, 15 seconds. And that's a target timing that I'm hoping for.
Can you imagine if 15 minutes ago, that candle did then what the candle is doing now? Your day would have been very different.
Yeah.
Just completely wicked out. Then it would have turned over, gone down in my direction, and I would have been happy, and you would have been nursing your wounds.
I hate trading, Tom. No. Bitcoin King asks, how many lots are you taking per trade? If I have a 100K prop account, how many lots should I go with? Honestly, that's entirely up to you and the way that you want to manage risk. Many of the prop firms will give you a lot of freedom to trade a ton of contracts, usually way more than you should probably ever trade. In my opinion, this not being financial advice, I would recommend just starting small, sticking with the micros, and getting to a point where you can find consistent edge, because the edge is obviously going to be required before you start managing to move and scale up from there. If you watched this session since the beginning, you'll know that I made the decision today to move from 1 contract in queue to 2 contracts in queue. And that's entirely based on the performance I've had over the last week. I've traded, I think, almost 100 trades in the last week, and nearly 72% of those have been successful. So I felt compelled to move my contract size up because my performance has been good enough, and I have enough drawdown in my accounts to feel good about the size. That said, you really want to focus on the drawdown of these accounts, right, the maximum loss limit that's available to you, because that's your account size. 100K means nothing. That's not really the important factor. What's important is how much drawdown is available to you. And if you're trading on Tradeify, you can find this number in your account where it says distance to drawdown. And you can see on all my Apex accounts, I have 3,000. So plenty of drawdown to work with. You're asking again, how many lots am I taking? I'm trading 2 NQ per trade.
That was a defining moment for me as well when Mike made it clear to me, you don't have a $50,000 account. Get that out of your head.
Yeah, it's not what it is.
You have a $3,000 account.
You're renting an account when they're giving you $3,000 to work with.
Yeah, they give you enough rope. Hey, you have $50,000 worth of rope that you can use.
Yeah,
but how far you are from the ground? Okay, that's darker analogy than I wanted it to be, but you get the idea here.
Before you hang yourself. It's like playing a game of hangman. But every trade is the wrong letter. That's a pretty good rejection off the 8 EMA. I actually might go ahead and take it here.
Right.
Okay, so you can see right off the bat, one of those accounts is not in a trade, and that's because that's the one I disabled. That's the account that I passed already. I don't want to risk losing the money in the account for one I've already passed, so that's been disabled. I'm going for 10 points again. ATR is at 13, so I think I should be able to pull it off as long as we see a continuation here. I've got some room to go here. If I pull my screen up here, you can see I'm already at a loss right off the bat. It appears my entry was the wick of the previous candle. So I'd like to see this break down below the 8 EMA and then take profits at 796.
Well, we are eating the tail on the 2 hour, but that might not mean anything for you.
This is probably one I'm going to go ahead and pull a break-even line for because
yeah,
good idea. I just ate my profits for the day. Oof. Well, I didn't even have to. The market just printed a fairly bullish candle right up against VWAP, and it hit my stop. So that is my one loss for the day. I'm going to stick with my rules. That means that I passed an account, but on average, I still picked up about $150 of profit per account. So I'll have to put in more work tomorrow. But the main thing is that I managed risk, and I'm going to stay consistent with this. I didn't get the one more sell off I was hoping for, unfortunately.
Right. It's going to come in a few seconds.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's going to reject right off of here, and I'm going to wish that I had taken the trade here instead of prior. It felt about right. You know, we almost hit VWAP. We had pretty decent candles here. The one rule that I probably broke there was I didn't get a full close below the 8 EMA before taking the trade.
That's what I was going to say, but you were already in the trade already.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, so today's performance, about an 83% win rate. And the interesting thing about it is that I had 3 trades that were worth about $440 each. Let me actually put this on my main screen. Worth $330, $370, and $440. Picked up some decent profit, was up $1,100. And then that one last trade lost me $940. Now, normally when I would look at a negative RR situation like this, I would think your risk of ruin is still high. You're still going to average down. But it's the win rate that ultimately counts. As long as you're able to find those entries that are a higher probability of getting to your 10 points of take or 8 points of take or 5 points of take. We're trading such a small zone that we can make this strategy work out, but we're operating in a really sort of a thin line here. So the one way to mitigate some of that risk is just to not take much of it. I'm taking one loss and I'm just going to call it today, and I'll try to come back and pick up some profit tomorrow.
Interesting. All right, guys. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for more trading. Look at that. The reversals happen. And just that's my...
Don't remind me. Why did I even look at this?
We'll be back here. If you guys like it, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. We love to trade here with you guys. Adventura is here almost every day. We have Kazi who's here as well. We like to trade with you. If you guys want to trade as well, we are looking for people to come on the show to trade live with us. That's right. You too can be in front of the massive audience here at TradersPost to see what it's like to trade on stage. All right. So we'll be back. Reminder, you have a coupon code at the bottom of the screen, prop scaling 20, if you want to go ahead and open up your own account. You can do so. Obviously, you can use the trial to see what it's like, but if you're ready to go ahead and pull the trigger, you can use that in order to get 20% off. If you already have an account with TradersPost, you can use 20% in order to get a discount off of the add-ons in the account. So something there for everybody. But for that, we'll leave that here, and we'll wish you guys, as always, happy trading.
Happy trading, everyone.